I started streaming.
Yo, why you just throw it out there like that? All
Uh,
right, I got you, bro. I'm gonna get ready to start streaming here myself. Let me get this thing rolling. Get
Look,
rid of
man,
YouTube, get on
if we
TikTok.
mess up, who cares? This is like,
Nah, we good, bro.
you still
We're good.
ugly though.
Yeah, all right. Get out of here.
Damn, you can hear me.
Hey, yo, yeah, I can hear you, man. Hey, we here first TAC podcast episode ever in existence. We here with me, EP.1, and bro over here. Let me point that way because he's right here.
Yes, sir.
Choke fellow.
Choke
Go ahead and
fellow.
introduce yourself.
Yo, choke fellow here, Mr. Red Beanie Man. That's about it.
Okay, well, that's pretty straightforward anyhow. All right, anyhow, we're here. We're about to talk today about social media in general. We got like 8 questions to get in and out of the way, or 8 topics, questions, you name it. And then from that point, anybody who comments, you gotta read, keep up with your comments. But for the most part, we're focusing on just information. Because we are 2 people here, 2 brothers with a lot of information. So, I'm gonna get straight into it. So, let's talk about how the support systems of the content journey goes in general. So, I'll let you take off, and then I'll kind of pick up where you leave off.
So wait, ask that question again because I want to make sure we got it right.
I got you. So, let me put it in question form because it's topic form right now.
Yeah.
So, support systems. How has your support systems been while creating content?
Horrible.
Horrible.
Absolutely
Why
horrible.
you say horrible?
Yeah, other than like I'm not counting you at all, right? Because that's a whole other story. We can save that for another time. But when it comes to support system, as far as people, let's say maybe people I know, friends, family, anybody other than you, I haven't really got any support of people consistently commenting, liking, sharing, or maybe giving me advice, DMing me, stuff like that. Now, I'm also not including my wife because she just looked at me from the corner of my eye and did a little cough like, like, hello, me. So other than my wife, like that's kind of like obvious. You know, she has been there, helped me a lot, motivating me to keep pushing, liking my videos, commenting, stuff like that, allowing me to use her social media platforms to spam on my page and stuff like that. But other than that, no, nobody. It's been difficult. And I still have yet to get any support from like family and friends at all.
Hey, I understand that because honestly, bro, like it's very finicky when it comes to the support system, like whether it be like, share, comments, repost. You know, that's kind of new because I don't think repost was always out there, was it? Or was it just like
no, it wasn't. It's something new.
So I think that's something new. But also, like when it comes to like the support system, like I'm gonna be honest, like it's scattered for me. Like it's very scattered. Like I know we rocking together. We've been from the jump. You know, it's only for a little bit of time that I was starting my content, and then you jumped in, and it was like, all right, now we teaming up, stuff like that. But after that, I can honestly say, like my nephew, thank God for him, and he every single post since the start. I'm talking like liking, sharing, all this stuff, like consistent. Like even if it's not right away, I can always guarantee that he's support it. But you know, I don't have nothing wrong. You know, not against anybody that don't support me, that knows me, or that you know, just in general knows I'm making content and stuff like that. Like that doesn't bother me. Like I already know my main source of just support is going to come from people I don't know, and that's exactly what's happening. Like I'm getting, as you know, whoever's watching can see if you check out my page, League 2 Honest, you check out Relatable Ray. It's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. Even some posts have thousands of comments, and we are still very small creators. Like we're not 100,000 followers, over 10,000 followers, very small. But I just thank God for those that do support me. Honestly, man, that's pretty much sums it up in the sense of like people, you know, that we know.
Yeah.
You know.
Now I will say this. I feel like as a content creator, the excitement, it's kind of like eating food. The excitement of getting the ideas flowing, depending on what industry you work on, whether you're doing food, whether you're doing like work with me, gym videos or gaming videos, stuff like that. The creative flow of the content you're wanting to create is like going to a buffet. You get excited to go, you've been saving your appetite, and then you kind of, get your plate. And we both know when you go to a buffet, you ain't just getting one plate. You stacking that plate up, you getting a little sample of everything, you getting another plate, and another plate, and another plate. So it's like with content creating, you get excited at first to get into the flow of creating content, but going to a buffet alone is extremely weird and boring.
Yeah.
So going out to dinner, going out to buffet, wherever it is, you wanna surround yourself around like-minded people, and being able to communicate and conversate about topics that are amongst wherever you are. So it's kind of the same thing with content creating. Is when you create the content, you want people to engage with you and say, hey, how's your day? Keep going. Oh, you should try this. You should try that. Do this, liking it and stuff like that. So, at first the excitement of trying new things is fun, but then it gets to the point where it's like, okay, I kind of wish someone else could be here with me and show support and, any such thing like that. So,
right. No, that's definitely understandable, because it's like any human being that's like a normal human being is going to want that like genuine support system from multiple people. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's very few people that can be like, I don't even care. Like I'm rocking this thing solo if it's just me, or if it's just, like for example, like what we got going on. If it's just the both of us, you know what I mean? Things of that nature. But honestly, man, I just thank God for keeping us, because we could have quit halfway through the first year,
Yeah, that's
true. We've only been doing it for a little bit over a year. So it's like, it's going, I think it's going really good. I think it's going to a point where if we stop now, we won't make it. But if we keep going, there's endless opportunities because of the kind of people that we are. You know what I mean?
Now,
and that goes for anybody, sorry to cut you off, but that goes for anybody who is just like content creating, period. Like if you're a content creator, do not rely on other people supporting you, because that's the main thing that's going to take you away from your main focus. Don't forget your why. Like, why are you making this content? Like, why are you, instead of doing something else, like why are you going to be a content creator? Is it because you're bored? Like, you know what I mean? Like, do you want to just be seen, or do you want to be successful, or is it just a multitude of things? Don't forget your why. So that's what I had to put that out there real quick.
No, definitely facts. Now, I will say this real quick to kind of add on to the support system. If you're able to get at least one person, like for example, Leek and myself, we were already creating content before we met each other, but then once we linked up, the energy and the mindset behind it doubled. And then as we progressed and, we went from, well, I'm not going to get into that detail because that's going to be later. But as we progressed and kept creating content and, started calling each other, started texting and stuff like that, where it was like supporting each other. There was days where, a perfect example, there were days that I didn't want to create content. I was tired and I got home, didn't want to live stream, whatever. And that live stream ended up being one of my best live streams for skate. And I got that clip of me doing that backflip, landing through that hole and that trick. So it was like, I was able to get a really good clip. I was able to get a lot of engagement on that stream and got a good amount of attention because you said, bro, just do it, just get it done, blah, blah, blah. So that little bit of support system. So you can only go so far by yourself before you start getting into your own head. And it's about how far are you willing to go by yourself. But having that partner with you or that teammate to help you push a little further is going to help tremendously. So if you are able to get at least one person that you can trust and that you can do this with, do it. But if you can't find someone that you can trust and do it with, then you need to go at a pace, which this is definitely the next topic to talk about. You need to go at a pace that you can maintain doing this long term. And we can kind of start with that. And what do you think about that as far as a pace? What can you say about that?
Okay, so that's the next topic anyhow, so let's jump right into it. So now is just like, this is a big thing for everybody who's a content creator. I don't care what you're doing, like with content, you need to pay attention to this. So next topic is what pace to keep when you're posting content. Like a lot of people say, oh, I got to post like 15, 20, 30 times a day in order for the algorithm to really pick me up, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that might work for some people. But for example, both of us on this podcast right now, we work. We busy. You know what I mean? Like, we don't have the time to just sit there for hours, pay people to post for us. For one, I don't trust people with my content that I don't know.
I won't.
Yeah, and so it's like that's a big thing for me. But to get back on track, when you're posting, you have to know what works for you. Like, if you have a job, you go to school, you're in college, you got all these different things, but yet you have that specific dream that you want to be a content creator and really, really make it big one day, and just full-time content creation. I'll give you an example that I do for my League Games account. So when I first started, it was pretty much just like every single day, streaming every single night, 2-3 hours a night. Sometimes more than that. Like, I don't know, like we used to stream multiple hours per night, and this is on work nights. Like, we were tripping.
Yeah. 3, 4, 5 hours streams.
Yeah, I mean, we were posting like all the time, maybe 4, 5, 6 times a day, like, not even exaggerating. And it just got to the point where we were like, yo, this is too much. Like, we, for one, anybody who's watching this, we come from a really, religious background, holiness, truth of God. Go and search up Pastor Jennings if you're looking for a church to go to. And also, like, we were going too hard. We were going way too hard for the amount of work we were doing on our regular 9 to 5.
Now, hold on.
You know what I mean?
Let's break that down into like detail, because I feel like you're nonchalantly saying this, but it goes way deeper. And I'm gonna
did I miss something?
No. As far as the way you're explaining the pace that we were going is very nonchalant. Like, it got to a point, at one point, we were going like too hard, right? Now I'm gonna let you continue, but I just want to make this quick statement.
No, go ahead. Yeah. Please let me know.
You got Gary V, which is like one of the biggest social media guys out there. That, again, you got people out there that are big content creators, 400,000, 4 million followers, whatever. And I don't know if this is a joke or people are just crazy, but they're saying you got to be posting 100, 200, 300 times a day. Like,
that's crazy.
That's crazy. Now,
that's insane.
At one point, we were posting 5 to 12 times a day, and that lasted for a solid month. And even then, that was like, I got sick. Like, I got physically sick because I was doing too much, and I was only posting like 10 or 11 times a day, like every hour on the hour during my morning, my days, right? And I got physically sick because I was just editing too much. I was creating too much content, and that was only 10 or 11 times a day. Like, how, even if you use a robot to post 300 or 400 times a day, like, you gotta eyeball this stuff. You gotta proof check and double check that the robot is posting accurately and is not messing up your content or posting the same thing 50 times in a row back to back. So it's like,
facts.
Anyways, go back to what you're saying as far as pace.
So, actually, those are some really good points, by the way. So I commend you for those, because that's probably something I would have missed, but thank you for that. So just going back to what I was saying, like, when it comes to keeping a pace, if you're already working a regular job, work around your job. Don't make it a burden for you when it comes to your actual content creation journey. Like, you want to actually be like, yo, I got all this content saved on my laptop, saved on my phone, ready to post, whether you hire somebody to do it or you do it. Like, you don't want to have it as a burden. So at some point, I don't want to speak for you, but I can speak for myself. But it did become like a burden at some point for me, like, because I just was doing too much. Like, I caught myself, instead of like doing my normal things I would do, throughout the day, I'm on my phone now, hours and hours and hours that I could be doing something else. You know what I mean? So you want to automate it to where, like, it's actually a comfortable, like, cycle for you to post your content. So, for example, I'm at the point now where, for my League Games account, that's my gaming account. I post gaming content on there. I stream on the weekends, maybe Friday and Saturday, right? And then what I do is I take those 2 or 3 streams that I do, edit it maybe that weekend, right after, you know what I mean? And then I'll save every raw clip on my phone. and then kind of throughout the week, I'll edit it, post, leave it alone. Like edit, post, leave it alone. And the best thing that worked for me was once in the morning, maybe once in the afternoon, 12, and then before I go to bed, post one more time. And that's the most honestly that I would do per day, like to keep up with my schedule.
Yeah.
But I'll let you elaborate on how it works for you and kind of where you came from to now. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh man. So yeah, like I was saying before, posting 10 times a day, like that was crazy. And then, we kept discussing, we would always discuss, oh, we got to do more. We got to do more. We got to post more. And what that strands from is you start to get a little spark, right? And then the spark becomes a flame, and then the flame becomes a bonfire. And then, it kind of explodes, and that fire represents the viewership and the fan base coming in. So, from the very beginning, we kind of started off with, 200, 300 views. And that happened for months. That was like 3 or 4 months. We were consistently getting 200, 300, 400 views. Once in a while, we got that 900 or 1,000 view on that video, and we got excited. So like that was like the spark coming in. Then eventually we were like, oh, when we saw those numbers come in, we were like, we got to post more. So we upped it. We were posting 2 times a day. Then we did 3 or 4 times a day. Then we started getting those videos. Arc Raiders came out, and we kind of fell in that wave of now getting 4,000, 5,000. Remember that one point you were getting like 10,000, 13,000.
Yeah, easy.
Back to back to back. And we were like, oh my gosh, it's happening. Like we got to keep pushing. We got to keep posting more and more. That's when we got into the phase of like 5 to 10 clips a day, and like really pushing it and doing 3-4 hour streams every day, every night. And it was like, okay, this is getting crazy. And then we kind of mellowed out. We went back down to like 3 to 5 clips a day, and so on and so forth. So it's like, then of course, like you said, life gets in the way. You may have school, work, whatever the case may be. And, I have my business that I'm doing over here with landscaping, and that could be very brutal. And, by the time I get home, I'm way too tired. So now my pace went from 3 clips a day to 10 clips a day, 12 clips a day. I think the most I ever posted in one day was like 18 posts in a day. But now I'm down to 1. And I will say this, I want to make this be very well known. Don't get me wrong, posting a lot quality wise, right? You don't want just quantity, you want quality. Now, if you can get both, that's perfect. So don't get me wrong, you post 10, 15 times a day, the views are going to definitely be there daily. You're going to get 10, 15, 30, 40, 50,000 views in a day easily. But you can also have the opportunity, as you know, that I can post once a day, and that one clip ends up getting 100,000, 200,000 views. And then I'm doing that every day. And by the end of the month, I done accrued 300,000, 400,000 views, and I didn't have to post 5, 10, 15 times a day, but it's because I'm posting quality to my standard, and I know what I'm going to post is going to get engagement. So in the end of the day, you just got to post at your pace that you don't burn yourself out. And like I said, for me, right now, I'm already burnt out in the sense of work and being tired and physically and mentally exhausted. So if I can maintain posting 1 time a day and maintain the algorithm seeing my page and views coming in still, I'm going to do just 1 post a day. And that's going to be my pace.
Exactly. And if it works for you, it works as long as you keep consistent. You don't have to keep the same type of consistency, if you catch my drift, like every single day. But if you're consistent, you're consistent. If you're still posting at least 1 time
elaborate
a day,
on that for the viewers.
Okay, I got you. So for example, let's say you just went from something as far as like, I don't know, like we were talking about, like 2, 3, 4 times a day. That's what you were used to. But then life happens, which it does, and you may have to cut back when you're posting, but you're still consistent with posting. You just cut back on how much you post. So yeah, I just want to elaborate on that, just so that it's very clear that you're not quitting. You're just kind of leaning back in order to keep the ball rolling. Like, it's kind of like the turtle and rabbit race. Like slow and steady wins the race, but if you stop, you won't get anywhere. You know what I mean? Also, I don't know who Run It Back Base is on my TikTok, but thanks for the 2,000 likes. It went from like barely anything to like 2,000 likes. So
He's
that's actually
spamming, bro.
insane. Yeah, that's actually insane.
Yo, keep spamming, yo. Keep spamming.
I don't know where he went. I think he kind of dropped out. But I just was while we were talking, I'm seeing the hearts just flying up. I'm like, oh snap!
He just said,
This
no,
whole
no.
time, yo. Okay, I had to
Yeah.
give a shout out real quick. That's what's up. That's what's up. But I'll let you take on point number 3. So
Okay, point number 3. People we know supporting our content or not supporting. So I think what you're getting with that is the mental state of not allowing it to affect how you feel, not necessarily about the person, but
mhm.
about the situation you're being put in, where the people that you do know, family or friends, um, are supporting your content or not. Because as we both know, social media has like that meme that goes around where it's like family friends are the ones that look at your content as cringe. They look at it as like, you maybe you should go to college and get a real job or something. And then you have the random stranger that's sitting there in the middle of the field. He's the only one there yelling your name like, yo, keep going, push, push. And those are the people that you will get the most support from versus your family, friends, versus random strangers that you do not know are going to be the ones always posting on your content, commenting, that is, liking, sharing, and wanting to see you succeed. And they'll be there when you were at the 200 views. And like, for example, Cheese Trigger. You already know Cheese Trigger. Bro.
Yo, I mean, I still don't know what that means.
Will, man, good old Will. He was one of those people that came onto our content from like when we were first playing Arc Raiders, and he just started commenting Cheese Trigger. I don't know what Cheese Trigger means, but it's an inside joke at this point, and he just blows up our comments, always commenting that, and he's always showing support. So he's been there since day one. So like, he's a stranger. So hopefully that's what we're even suggesting as far as this third topic. Is this am I on the right pace right now?
You're good. You're actually like right on the nail. You're right on the nail because I want to kind of add my point in there real quick because there's a lot of things that came to my mind.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like exactly the analogy you use about that one person in the field. You don't know who they are, but yet they're constantly showing up.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, that's what I asked for,
mm-hmm.
to just show up. And it doesn't have to be a necessary, person I know. You know what I mean? Because we both on all of our accounts have those people that are consistent.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, faithful. Like even if it's just like liking your story, even if it's just like putting your post
mm-hmm.
on their story, bro. I ain't gonna lie, that means a lot to me.
It
like when somebody,
does.
yeah. I don't know why, but if somebody actually takes the time to take my post that I took the time out to make and put it on their story,
mm-hmm.
bro, that's amazing because now they're like, it's almost like people are forced to watch that story if they watch that person.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
And I will say, story sharing, I feel like has more weight than liking, commenting, and reposting because it's a more direct personal connection that viewer is adding to your content. Like they're showing it that it's that special enough that they're willing to let all of their fan base or their following see. Because if they like and comment on something, people are not going to go out of their way to play, Dr. Inspector to try to figure out who's he liking and commenting on. No, but when you post it on your story, everyone that person's following is going to see it. So they're willing to kind of showcase you on their platform.
Yeah. Honestly, I agree 100%. Mm-hmm. And it's just like one of those things where it's like it's appreciated. It is like on my behalf. I'm like, you know what? Thank God for you because it's like I don't know. You could have did anything. You know what I mean? You could have put anything on your story, and yet you chose to put me on your story. So I honestly thank God for that. But just going back to reiterate the. Wait, what'd you say? Yeah, all right, I heard that. Yeah, he tried to get me, try to play me real quick. But anyway, like I was saying, like when it comes to like just people we know, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. This is a very huge topic right now. Like I don't want us to take this lightly because some people actually quit their whole content career after so much work because their cousin isn't supporting them, their mom, their dad, their brother, like people that they grew up with. And it's like, but you have to understand like the logic or the science, whatever it is behind it, or like just the mind set behind it. Like they know you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? In the beginning, they look at you like, okay, yo, that's what's up. Like he's actually putting in that work. He's doing something he's not used to. I support him.
Mm-hmm.
Let a few months go by. They're like, okay, nothing's even happening. But in their head, they're like, oh, it's supposed to happen immediately. Not everybody, but
Yeah.
most people.
Yeah.
But in your head, you're like, I know this takes time. For example, like Queso, all these other people, they didn't blow up in 1 month. It took years.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It took years. I use the analogy of college. Going to college, you're going in there, you're already knowing in your head that you're signing up for 2, 3, 4 years, maybe even 10 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You
Getting
don't
a
know.
doctor. Yeah.
Like for that particular subject that you're going to try to major in.
Mm-hmm.
Now, compare that to creating content. Just like college, you don't know what job you're going to end up getting.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know when your career or your subject that you want to major in will actually take off, but
Mm-hmm.
you're willing to put in the work for those such and such amount of years. So that's what I'm getting to.
Yeah.
With content creation and college, it could kind of almost mix in the same way, but just college you have to pay for, and content creation you really don't have to pay for.
Well, no, hold on, hold on.
So,
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do because
in a way,
yeah.
yeah.
You got to be able to invest in the quality and the actual materials to make the content. So even if you are IRL streamer, you know, a lot of people just start off with their phone, but eventually you get a gimbal or you get like some type of, you know, selfie sticker per se, and you start, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then eventually you get the DJI mic, and then you get like, you know, any type of lavalier mic, and then you start investing in more stuff to do better content, better quality, right? You know, we didn't need the green screen, but we wanted to do a little bit better on our streaming, so we got the green screen and, you know, start to invest in some stuff. And, you know, I feel like your analogy is good. College and health. College and health go hand in hand, right? So it's like you go to the gym, and that is the number one thing people often get discouraged of, is that they go to the gym, they start working out, and they want instant gratification. That's the problem. People want instant gratification. That's not going to happen. In social media, I think we've talked about this before, like analytically speaking, it's 1 in 1 million that you'll get instant gratification. You get that one hit wonder that ends up going viral, but then they don't have a POA. They have no idea what they're doing. They get a one hit wonder, they go viral, they don't, and then they just flop because they weren't prepared for it. So the reality is, it's like the gym. You go to the gym, your diet needs to be right, which your diet is basically going to be your routine and your consistency of posting and creating the content. And then when you go to the gym, you gotta live. You gotta be able to get new PRs. You have to you can't just do 2 reps of bicep curls and expect to get biceps. No, you have to do 3 sets of this and you know, so on and so forth. And you need to be consistent. The first month, people start to see the change in you. By the second month, you start to see the change in yourself, so on and so forth. By the end of the year, your body has completely transformed. Your mindset, everything has transformed. So in the same topic, when we first started off doing our social media content, we were getting 200 or 300 views. Now, you know, in just a year, this to other people may sound like a joke, but hey, they quit, we didn't, we're still going. But we went from 200 views to 2,000, 3,000, 50,000, 80, 100,000. You know, we're getting tens of thousands of comments. That's not over exaggerated, by the way. We can prove that. Tens of thousands of comments. We went from 0 comments to tens of thousands of comments. And then between me and you, we added it up. We're pulling in 1 million views just with our Instagram accounts. That's not including TikTok, Facebook, or YouTube. If we add it all up, we're in the millions every month of viewership, and then comments, the follow, everything. And this is just in a matter of a year. So even if you are going at a slow pace and you're one of those people that when you blow up on social media, it's after being in the scene for 5 or 6 years, and you've been in the scene, people are just now discovering you. You're not a one-hit wonder, and you're building the, you know, slow roll, turning into an avalanche per se.
Right. And I want to kind of piggyback off of what you were saying too. Like a lot of people don't realize the work some individual content creators actually put in. Like actually, because like that one video that you see that, I mean, even the likes are in the millions. Like then that's like when you first noticed them. You know what I mean? So that's kind of going back to what you said about just putting in the time. Like time matters when it comes to really any career you want to go for, whether it be content, college, working out, like, you know, for the working out analogy, like that. is a big factor in it too, because it's like you're not going to see results in 1 or 2 or 3 days.
Mhm.
Like that stuff takes months and months and months and months and months. And really, just like working out, you see the results better than other people do, because you're watching your analytics, you're watching your view count, you're watching your comments,
Mhm.
you're going and checking how much your view count is for the past like 30 days on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, whatever, you know, like the studios and stuff like that. But it's so important to stay consistent, because you're not going to see them results right away. But like you said, once in a blue moon, you do have those people that make one post and they blow up.
Mhm.
I'm talking like millions and millions and millions. But I'll be honest, in my opinion, that's actually kind of scary, because you don't have the foundation to kind of back it
Mhm.
unless you already have a game plan, like you said, like a plan of action, a
Mhm.
POA. If you already have everything laid out, you already know exactly how you're going to do your content journey and everything like that. Now the only thing you're waiting for is, you know, the virality or whatever the case may be for you to go viral.
Mhm.
Okay, then you're prepared. Fine, that's amazing.
Mhm.
But unfortunately, most people that go viral for like the first 1, 2, 3 times, they drop off fast, and now they're
Correct.
just a memory or just a meme or just something that people use in the GIF section of the comments. You know what I mean? They
Exactly.
turn you into
Exactly.
a GIF.
Yo, you get turned into a gift.
You turn
That
into a
could be a
GIF.
good or
You
bad
know what I
thing,
mean?
realistically.
So yeah, so I'm not really too sure if that's a good or bad thing. I mean, you're gonna be relevant, because
Yeah.
like if that was funny enough to be turned into one,
Mhm.
okay, that's
Let me ask you
fine.
a
You know what I
question.
mean?
I want to ask you a question.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, now at the pace and understanding, like being where we are now, like we're still
Hmm.
nobodies. We're nobodies. But being where we are now and knowing what we know, would
Right.
you prefer slow growth with a solid fan base, or just going viral, one hit wonder, and then trying to figure things out?
I'm gonna go back to the slow and steady wins the race, because when you have a slow pace, you actually have people who's paying attention to your slow progress. Now, I'm a huge fan of connection.
Mhm.
So, for example, like you said, like the cheese trigger guy,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? He's able to interact with us on a level that we're responding to him.
Mhm.
Bro, you go viral your first like month or so, who can you make a close connection with?
Nobody.
You know what I mean? You don't have those OGs per se that started with you from 200, 300 views. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? You can't say that, okay, I had such and such, whatever username, Bob the Builder, whatever,
Mhm.
been here since I was getting like 2 comments. I seen that face. But it's just like you don't have that connection with
Uh-huh.
that you would have
Mhm.
if you would, go viral right away, and then you got all
Mhm.
these people looking at you. And you may have some people that want to really, be addicted to your content or really watch you, but it's not like you're gonna really figure out who they are. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? You got millions of likes, comments. So that's pretty much my answer for that, because I respect those people who support my content, even your content too, because I've noticed those few people that just stick around no matter what.
Mhm.
So that's yeah, I'm grateful for that for both of all of our accounts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep. All of our
So
accounts for sure. All right, topic number 4. That's on you.
okay, I got you. Let me I don't understand why these ads, man. I knew I should have just there we go. Let's mute that.
Yo,
Okay.
this is actually a pretty good topic.
Yeah, no, I got you. So topic number 4, viewership. Don't get caught up in views or engagement for, new viewers and things of that nature. Okay. So this is actually a really deep topic, because this is where people draw the line whether they're going to quit or they're going to keep going.
Mhm.
For example, let's say you got somebody who is just, and I just want to start off with this point because it's like a lot of people can resonate. Let's say you're getting really good viewership. You're posting something early in the day. By the time you check it like 4 hours later, that video is at like 10,000 views. You know what I mean? On its way up to like 40,000, 50,000, whatever. This guy's crazy. And
I'm sorry.
anyway, I know you couldn't resist yourself. But anyway, so like you can get used to that. You can get comfortable with the amount of views you've been getting, the amount of engagement you've been getting. And that can be a dangerous thing, to tell you the truth.
Mhm.
And then one day the algorithm says, you know what? I'm gonna drop this person off. And then you
How
go
many
from all
times
those
have we
views.
been dropped off?
Yeah, we've been dropped off a lot, man. We've been
Oh,
dropped off a lot.
man.
This is why I can really resonate with this topic. So
Mhm.
I'm actually excited to talk about this, because it's like You don't know how whoever's watching this when I upload this to YouTube, whatever these clips, you don't know how many times me
Oh my
and
gosh.
Chokefellow right here, like we we just was like, yo, we got like 10,000 views. No, but this is real because
Yo.
you have videos pinned on your profile right now
Mhm.
that has 500,000 views,
Mhm.
almost a million views.
Mhm.
Even on your TikTok, you got millions of like big time stuff. And then all of a sudden, we started posting one day, and it went to 200 views, 300 views, 3 comments, 3 likes. You know what I mean?
Barely,
So it's like,
barely.
what was happening? Like,
Yeah,
what is this?
yeah.
So it's like, I want you to elaborate before I move on. So like, how do
Yeah,
you
bro.
feel
Oh
when
my
that happened?
gosh. I remember the first time it happened on YouTube. I started utilizing those hashtags on YouTube, the YouTube shorts and trending video, stuff like that, right? And using those
Mhm,
consistently. And my videos were consistent. This is like when I didn't even have 1,000 subscribers. I think I had like 600 subscribers or something like that. And
mhm,
every single one of my videos were getting, 1,000, 1,500 views, 2,000 views, like consistently every single day. And this is like, I'm posting 3 or 4 times a day. Every single one's getting over 1,000 views. So, every 2 days I'm pulling in 25, 30,000 views, which to some people out there, that's not a lot. But for us being small content creators, pulling in 5, 10,000, 15,000 views a day on one social media platform is really good when we have four. So if we're pulling in 10,000 views per platform, we're pulling in 40,000 views across the board on one platform for one person. Now you double it
mhm.
between me and him, we're talking almost 100,000 views a day, 30 days a month. You do the math, and then to, brand ambassadorships, that looks pretty decent. But I remember it got to the point where YouTube like shadow banned me or something like I don't know what
Same,
happened. You know what I
same.
mean?
Yep.
1,000, 2,000 views a day, then zero. 2 views, 3 views,
Yep.
zero. And this was like consistent for like 2 weeks straight. Every single video we posted, 2 views, 3 views, maybe 10 views, 0 views. And it was just every day. And then randomly, that one video we post got 300 views. And it was like, oh my gosh, yes, we got 300 views versus the 2 or 3 views that we were getting. So
All
it was
right.
like, and then the algorithm picked us up on all that old content. So it went from 2 views to 300 views, and all those old videos started to pick back up again. And
Mhm.
then that happened over the span of this year. That's probably happened to us 3 or 4 times of
Yeah. Yeah.
just dropping us off and going from a couple thousand views a day to 2 or 3 views in a day. And those two or
Right.
three views were most likely coming between me and you. Like I check out your stuff and like it, and you check out my stuff and like it.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's where we kind of go back to the consistent and go at a pace that you can go at. And if there's any advice that I can give you is if you really want to do this and make that quote unquote content creator money, and you just got to keep going. Like even if you spend 8 hours, like don't listen, we're okay. Let me just spit facts real quick. I just want to kind
Go
of,
ahead,
I want
man.
to go
Take your
off
time.
course
Take your
here.
time.
So look, when I was a content creator back in the day, we just called it a marketing manager. We didn't call it a content creator or anything like that. When you put effort into making content, look, don't try to spend 8 hours editing a video and going through your day, getting all this footage, and then you're spending 8 hours editing it. You spent 2 or 3 days because you work a full-time job, and you spent 3 days editing a long form video. You post it, you got 2 views, 1 like, and a comment from grandma. Like, what do you expect is going to happen? You know what I mean? And then you clip
Right.
it and make shorts out of it, and you only get 30, 40 views off of it. Don't
Mhm.
put so much effort into a video and you have no fan base. Do not spend that much time making art. Don't be Picasso and make the Mona Lisa. I don't know who made the Mona Lisa, by the way. I don't know.
Yo.
Anyways, don't make this piece of art that you spent all this effort on and only one person is going to see it. No. Make content, put it out. When you have the fan base, you have the viewership, you have that consistency of flow coming into your store to see your product, then you spend the 8 or 10 hours making the content, all that. But for now, just, get a little quality under your belt, get some quantity, put it out there, and then get the viewers racked in, build a fan base, get the algorithm to notice you. Then you kind of start working on creating quality per se. That was a complete
Okay.
left turn, but yeah.
No. That was a must needed thing to say because you don't know where your mind's gonna go and where that topic goes. Somebody needs to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You don't know. But I wanna kind of touch on something you were saying. About like how the viewership and things that goes as far as like us combined and things of that nature. So if you look above us, you see the TAC podcast. So we're a team. Me and Chokefellow right here, aka Relatable Ray, aka Leak Too Honest. We are a team when it comes to this content creation. No matter what pages we have, no matter what we're doing with the content creation, we are in this thing together as brothers, spiritual brothers, not real brothers in real life, but not by blood, but spiritually. So it's like we're like-minded. So like that's another topic I kind of want to touch on if you don't mind. It's not on the list,
Yeah.
but it's something I really want to touch on. If you're gonna go into content creation with someone, make sure you can trust that person because now you're investing time and you're investing effort and you're investing like a whole lot of just whatever kind of content you're creating. It's an investment. Like you should care about your time. You should care about just like the person that you're actually doing the content with and yourself, more importantly, because at the end of the day, you want to benefit, you want others to benefit from your content. But just let's kind of get back on track. So when you have someone or some people, because you got what's that group RCDC? You got like the old group Dormtainment, all them people, like they got a group of people and was like, yo, we're gonna make this thing work.
Yep.
You're gonna have your faults, you're gonna have your ups and downs and stuff like that. But if you decide to make content with somebody, just try your best to keep on the same page. That's all I gotta say about that.
Yeah.
Because it's a very important topic, and I just want to make sure that whoever is listening to this and you like got your buddies with you and you're making videos, IRL gaming, whatever. Make sure y'all are in this for the long run because you don't know where this content journey can take you.
Seriously.
Like you see all these people out here making these $100,000 a month. You think that stuff comes easy? You think that don't come with problems? You're gonna need a solid team with you. You know what I mean?
100,000 a month. And you know what's crazy is that's little money compared to what half these people are making. So
exactly. That's insane.
More money, more problems.
Yeah, for real.
Man.
Yeah, for real, man. That's honestly something I really wanted to touch on because like when you're dealing with this content stuff, not everybody's gonna be on the same page, man, because it's like how we are when we talk on the phone from day to day. Sometimes I'm hyped. Sometimes I'm like, yo, this is like I'm ready to go hard. And then on the other hand, like you might be burnt out and tired or vice versa.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, now it's time to pick each other up.
Correct.
Now it's time to pick up where the other one is lacking.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
It's just feeding off the end. And that kind of goes back to what we were saying before is like, if you're going to do it by yourself, go at a pace you can. But if you can have at least one person with you, that person is going to, you have to have someone that is mature and right-minded because you don't want someone that's going to feed off your energy. Because what happens if you ain't feeling it that day? They go feed off and like, all right, bro, we can just chill. Don't worry about it. No, it's like, no, bro. If I'm down here in the gutter, bro, you got to pull me out and you got to get me motivated to go ahead and run this mile with you and keep pushing and keep doing what we got to do. But now I will say this. So just to kind of rebuttal as far as the viewership, don't get caught up on the viewership because the algorithm and the way social media is nowadays, like we were discussing before off camera, the social media content creation, all this stuff, shorts and it is taking over. Like we used to have Comcast and DirecTV and all this and that and cable TV. That's back in our day. But now, as you grow up, we have Netflix, HBO Max, Paramount Plus. But in the next couple years, Netflix, Paramount Plus, all that stuff is going to be like DirecTV. It's going to be like Comcast. It's no longer going to be a thing that people search out for because now when you're making dinner and you're sitting on the couch, you're no longer spending 3 hours on Netflix trying to look for a video or a movie or whatever. No, now you're just going to go straight to Queso or Burnt Peanut and watch their live streams or whatever the heck they got going on. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can say that for myself and like in general because it's like I sit there and I'm bored, if I'm not in prayer, if I'm not fasting, if I'm not doing things that pertains to the Lord, I'm watching queso, or I'm watching some type of YouTube video that's gaming, informative, foods, whatever, because it's like, it's so,
It's
I don't even want to go
easy.
down that rabbit
It's
hole, bro, because it's
easy.
like, I'm telling you right now, that's the more easy route. But when you're actually paying for these programs, like I don't like all these different programs that you pay for movies, TV shows, stuff like that. If I'm gonna pay for a program, let everything be free on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And most of that stuff is just not.
Yep.
Especially Prime. So it's
Yeah,
like,
you gotta pay for ad free. You gotta
Mhm.
pay for this, that, and the other. Now it's like you no longer just get on it to watch it. Like you gotta pay for ads now and all this.
Yeah. So and that's just something I had to throw out there because it's like it's super important that we support those people who are gonna be the future. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Hmm.
Like, there's certain content creators that I don't mind supporting as long as the content's clean and within the guidelines of holiness.
Hmm.
So it's like, why not? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Why not? So it's like, then you find yourself like, okay, let me go try to find a TV show. Let me go try to find a movie. Let me whatever. And you're just searching and searching and searching and searching for like hours before,
Hmm.
and you got to plate of food that's warm. By the
Yeah.
time you find it, it's
It's
cold. You got to
cold.
reheat it, the food up
Exactly. And
again.
no one got
You know what I
time for that.
mean?
No one got time for that. And but
So,
that's the reality of it is that we already did away with Comcast, DirecTV, cable. That's gone, right? Like
mhm,
our time frame, our age group is Netflix, Paramount, like all the streaming networks. You know, all the
yep,
younger like we're talking about kids that are just getting into middle school. They're on their phone. They don't care about Netflix. They don't care about any of that. They
mhm,
watch streamers. That's who they watch. They watch streamers. They watch YouTube shorts. They watch TikTok videos. They don't care about Netflix. They don't care about any of that. They're always on their phone watching shorts or streams.
facts.
That's the
Yeah.
new cable TV. That's the new direct TV. So it's getting to the point where all of these social media platforms are slowly changing their laws and regulations so
Mhm.
they can capitalize and profit as much as possible off of streaming and shorts. And then people
Yeah.
like us will become the network of creating the content or creating the episodes and the shows. And then we're going to get
Mhm.
paid just like HBO would, you know?
Yeah, yeah, honestly, and I think that will create more income for any upcoming new content creators. So what I'm saying is, I'm be honest, bro. Like, I think we picked the best time to become content creators because this
Mm-hmm.
journey that we're on right now, it's like, okay, yeah, we might get down and out sometimes, and maybe like not really encouraged, like discouraged, if I
Discourage
may
you.
say. Like, it's like we got to remove that from our minds.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have to remove that from our existence of thinking because it's like if we do not keep going, we're gonna be woulda, coulda, shoulda people.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I mean?
We
And
put
that's the
too much
last
work
thing we
into
need.
just quit.
Yeah, exactly. And if people only realize the type of work that we put in, and like I understand we're on a podcast right now, but me
Yeah.
and this guy right here, we talk all the time. Like we talk about this stuff all the time.
For
So it's
real.
like that's why we decided to just kind of like well, one of the reasons why we decided to just kind of make a podcast because it's like, all right, we have the other platforms. We have gaming, we have the IRL content where we ask the questions, we have other things that we do, but podcast is like a must
Mm-hmm.
so that way people can get more in depth with us as creators.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I think that's honestly very important. But I kind of want to move on to the next topic.
Yes.
Number 5, I'll let you take that on.
Oh, the ups and downs and ecosystems of the algorithm. So
Hmm.
we kind of touched on that earlier, but we can go more into depth with that. And the reality is, anyone can go viral. Anything could take precedence of what's going viral. So, you know, the main industry that we like to work in is the gaming industry. Like that's the primary
Hmm.
thing that we want to kind of be known for. And then we were going to slowly kind of go into the IRL stuff, but still stay in the gaming realm per se. So it's like
Hmm.
as a gaming content creator, and this you can take this information and blend it into any industry, right? Whether it be working out, cars, food, it doesn't matter. Like whatever the trend is for that industry, you follow into the trend and you kind of ride the wave or algorithm per se. So just like Mr. B says, is like remove the word algorithm and see it as like a computer versus seeing it as the viewership of the people. The algorithm basically equals the people and the viewership that you're getting and the attention span that people are providing for your content to continue to push your content out. So with that being said, going into the gaming industry, right? When Mecha Chameleon first came out, that was no. Let's take it further, right? Because Mecha Chameleon died off quick, even though everything we posted got some good viewership. Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders, we played that game for like 6 months straight, and everything we posted got good repertoire.
Yo, for real.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that was, I
Yep.
feel like if it wasn't for God, we both know. But kernally speaking, if it wasn't for Arc Raiders, we wouldn't have gotten the viewership or the following and like the push to keep going the way we did because of Arc Raiders and the type of content and viewership that we were getting through our channels with it. With that being said, you follow the waves of the algorithm. So, it was Arc Raiders, and then, other games came out, Peak and what was that other game that we played with the robots? Repo, and then you have Mecha Chameleon, and then you have like all these games that start to get all this hype because the streamers are playing it. It gets hype for a couple weeks. You fall into that algorithm, and you get a bunch of viewership off of it, but then it starts to die out, and then you got to follow the wave of the next thing.
Right.
But then it goes deeper than that. Now you have these rules and regulations that come into play. Like, for example, Instagram and YouTube just updated the regulation of how they're going about the viewership for content, right? Like if your page is, you better be careful with Nugget Ninja. Nugget Ninja.
Nugget Ninja.
I gotta be real careful how I say that. Nugget Ninja.
Yeah, if y'all don't know, that's my extra account. I just do some AI stuff on there just for, for things that I like,
But now with AI pages are getting hit hard because they don't want AI pages to get a bunch of viewerships. They want real people behind the page, blah, blah, blah. So like there's all these little regulations, rules, and things that they're coming out with for content creators that are constantly changing and mess with your algorithm. So some days you may be posting, you're getting all these views, and then all of a sudden you get hit hard with no views, no comments, whatever. Like, ooh, here's a perfect example. I sent you that clip of Burnt Peanut. It was his most
right.
Like that didn't even make any sense. Burnt Peanut is at like almost 900,000 followers. He's like, you know what I'm saying? He's one of the top, easily the top 5 streamers in the world for Twitch or YouTube. And he posted his most recent video was 5 hours ago on his Instagram. Barely had like 2,500 likes.
Yep.
And 10 comments.
That's insane.
10 comments, and you're here with almost 1 million followers.
When you sent that post to me, and keep in mind, I don't have nothing against Burnt Peanut. I don't watch him. I'm just not a fan. I'm a realist.
Me either.
So when it comes to just, I love to study the algorithm. I love to study the way things work for different creators. So it's like, I don't know who created the algorithm, but that thing is complex. Like it's complex.
It's getting worse.
So when it's actually getting worse. It was easy back in the day, but now it's like for creators, so many creators, they're making it more difficult. But just going back to that post you sent me from Burnt Peanut, it's like, yo, you sent it to me, and you would think he just posted it 30 minutes ago. I checked the timestamp, and that thing said 5 hours. 5 hours may not seem like a long time to some people.
Yeah.
But when you're a content creator and you got 1 hour go by, 2 hours, 3, 4, 5, you should already be at like
a certain number.
That many followers? Yeah, you should. Yeah, you should be. Yeah,
easily. Not almost 900, almost 1 million followers. You got 10 comments?
No, I got a comment. Sorry to interrupt you.
No,
all right, so Lee asked, how would you manage keeping up with the algorithm based off of how fast it can change? So I'll let you take that first, unless you want me to take it first.
I'll rebuttal off that real quick. So ask the question again.
I got you. How would you manage keeping up with the algorithm based off of how fast it can change?
Okay.
Like, how would you manage for yourself as a content creator?
So just like with any business, or even if you work, look, I'm not saying you work in McDonald's. I'm just saying it because,
right.
You know what I mean? Like, but let's say you work in McDonald's and management puts on the bulletin board in the office some new things that came out. They're dropping a new uniform, or when you come in, you got to brush your teeth, clip your toenail. Like, I don't know. But
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? They come out with these lists. You have to constantly look at the news and letterboard or the rules and regulations of that thing, and always look up at the updated listings of things that are coming out. 1. 2, depending on what industry you work in, you have to see what works best. Now, here's my thing. I'm going to make this very clear. this is just me. All right. This is just me. I
Mm-hmm.
do not care about trends. I do not care about hype about a specific thing. I will not
Mm-hmm.
go out of my way to a extent to follow a trend and do a trend to get a bunch of viewership and fan base and potentially go viral off that thing. No. If my content has a very specific taste or way about it, and I keep a certain pattern on my page of posting that way, I'm going to stick to that. And even if the algorithm doesn't like it, what's going to happen is, yes, the algorithm, quote unquote, is equal to the viewership and fan base. But
Mm-hmm.
in the end of the day, all it takes is for when people view your video or picture, whatever it is, whatever they view your content, if they view it, that's one impression. If they like it, that's a second impression. If they comment, third, what just happened? Third impression. If they repost it, fourth impression, and then so on and so forth. They share it, 5 impressions. So
Mm-hmm.
one person can provide multiple impression rates off for one thing. Man, I have my board showing me. Hold on a second. It's good.
You're good,
Okay.
bro.
I got numbers on there, you know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so in the end of the day, don't rely on the algorithm. Rely on the content that you want to create and have belief in to create. Now, I'm just gonna add one more thing, and I'm gonna leave it to you. I
Mm-hmm.
was scrolling through the explore page because I sometimes forget to keep my story flooded with content. So I'll
Yeah, me
scroll
too.
through to keep posting some stuff and keep people engaged on my story. I found this page that this guy has like 340 something thousand followers. This guy's getting hundreds of thousands of likes, thousands of comments, a lot of engagement based
Mm-hmm.
off of the toy Bean Boozled.
Wait,
Little
what is it? Bean Boozled?
Bean Boozled. They're like these
Oh,
little
okay.
bean things, magnets, and you flip them and they roll, and they're like little collector sets. There's from the like 2000s when we were younger. This
Okay.
guy has created his page specifically off a very, very, like, this is not even tech decks. This is not even Beanie Babies or none. Like, this is a thing that people have forgotten for years of and don't even care about, but has hundreds of thousands of followers off of this specific niche. And he's constantly posting videos about it and doing
Mm-hmm.
random stuff with it. And it's a niche. That's not something that algorithm will pick up on a specific, like, that's if I make a video about just holding a cookie up and
Yeah,
looking
I
at
have
the
a fidget
color.
spinner.
You see what I'm saying? Like, bro, you know what I mean? Like, I remember when fidget spinners was a thing, bro. Like that,
Yep.
when it popped up. But anyways, my point is that don't rely on the regulation of the atmosphere of what the platform is making it, quote unquote, fair for you to get views. No, just do what you love and let the people do their thing. Right? That's it.
Honestly, and like just to piggyback off that, bro, everything you said, like you pretty much like just hit it on the nail, because it's like when you're a content creator, you really don't want to focus on what everybody else likes per se if you have your own distinct niche.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like if you have something that you really want, like say you're, I don't know, you fix computers for a living. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? You're not about to go hop on the next trend where somebody is like putting a certain like audio behind their video or trying to go viral. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
behind it. Or you got the what's that one trend going on right now where they ask their husband or something a question, and they flip it as if they're answering like wicked questions. Like, you
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? If they hurt like a I don't know, like a
I know what you're saying.
orphan or something like that. It's a
Orphan.
trend going on. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's actually crazy. But my bad. Let me fix this camera. But just for example, like if you have something that you really love doing,
Mm.
don't let what other content creators are doing distract you from what you have going on.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Because the algorithm's gonna pick you up or it's not gonna pick you up no matter what you do.
Mm.
You know, it doesn't matter. Like really with the algorithm is ruthless.
Mm.
Like it's not gonna favor you unless like I don't know. Like me personally, I pray about it. Like me personally,
Yeah.
like I just be like, Lord, if it's your will, like let these posts that I'm doing really do well, et cetera, et cetera. Because at the end of the day, I put everything in his hands anyway. That's just me because I have a really strong religious background. So, but to go off of what you were saying, like, and another thing too, I don't want to get too sidetracked, but hashtags. I know we don't have that in the list, but that kind of goes along with the
It
algorithm,
does
right?
help.
I mean,
It does
I
help a
would
little
say
bit.
a little, right?
Yeah, and
So
I
I would
never
say,
not put hashtags because I'm too
yeah. Well,
afraid
yeah, I
not
tried it.
to.
Yeah, I tried it. I did. I tried it.
Is there any
And I'm be
difference?
honest with you, some of them didn't have a difference. Some of them went
Okay.
back to the normal number it went to, just because somehow the algorithm picked up what kind of content it was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So hashtags. I want to kind of elaborate on that just for a couple of seconds here,
Mhm.
because that has to do with the algorithm big time in certain areas. If you have a certain thing that you're doing, like for example, like I said, computers. What I would do is I would find the best possible hashtags for, because they only limit it to 5 now. So
Yeah.
I would put like maybe 4 or 5 hashtags, no less than 4 though, of like just what works for your content, but don't change it. You know what I mean?
Keep it
Because
consistent.
that's keep it consistent, because no matter if the algorithm changes or it doesn't change or it favors or it doesn't favor you, the hashtags, it will somehow, I don't know how, somehow it will keep the viewership there. Especially if you gain a good following of a solid foundation like we were talking about previously. It'll just keep shooting it out to those people plus the same category of people that is within the niche that you're trying to do.
Mhm.
So that's just what I have to say about, like, if the algorithm changes, don't worry about it. Like, that goes back to what we were talking about earlier, being consistent. Like, just don't stop posting, because that one video,
Mhm.
even if you take losses, even if your video doesn't get as much views and stuff, and we're living that right now. Like,
Yeah.
we are in that right now as we record this podcast. Like, we're
Mhm.
not big and famous. We're not.
Yeah.
So it's like, as long as you stay consistent, all those so-called quote unquote losses that you took beforehand,
Mhm.
now all of those is just like you're gonna forget about it, because now it's consistent success when you
Mhm.
are viral now. Like every single video, 100K plus, maybe in the millions. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? And like viral today really is way above the millions. That's like when you have millions of likes, that's like really viral. You know
Yeah.
what I
Yeah,
mean?
when you're pulling in
Nowadays.
like 15, 20, 30 million views, that's going viral.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
then,
definitely.
like, when you go ultra viral, like, the only person that I can think of recently would be the Haktua girl. That
Yeah,
that
she's big time.
she's the only person that recently went ultra viral, and that's been a couple years. Like, who's I
Yeah.
can't think of anybody before that that went ultra viral. Like, the other one would be Catch Me Outside. How about that? Like, that's
Yeah,
ultra viral. You
yeah,
know what I'm
that one
saying?
video took her to like so many different podcasts, so many different
Bro,
shows, so
everything.
many different
Everything.
platforms. Like, all she had to do was make that video, but I don't know where she went now. I don't know
Oh
if
yeah,
she
she's all
kind
jacked
of,
up. She's all jacked up.
yeah, I don't know.
Anyways.
I don't know.
So, but you know what? I will say this, and it kind of flows into the next question, which that's on you. Number 6 is going to be
I
you.
got you.
But don't allow the algorithm to dictate who you are, and don't also allow other people's content to reflect who you can be. With that being
Right.
said, just keep being you, keep being posting the content that you're posting, and then you're going to learn a better way of doing your content and being you and having your mannerisms and the little jokes that you say. And if you have a speech impediment, like allowing that to naturally flow into your joke and your character, and
Yeah.
that becomes your content, that becomes your image, and no one can replicate it because that's you, and that becomes your niche, and you never relied on the algorithm or a trend or a flow of things. You just were you and perfected your personality, not your character, but your personality, to bring it to the world. That's it.
Facts, facts. That's so true. And I'm gonna say this: be yourself.
Mhm.
Like, that's one thing that like. I had a coworker ask me one time. He was like, "Yo," he was like, "I know you about to start making this content. You about to start streaming." Because at the time, I only had League Games. You know, I wanted to
Mhm.
make the gaming content. That was my first thought. And he was like, "What kind of character are you gonna be?" And that kind of like threw me off. And I was like, "What does that even mean?"
Mhm.
Like, and then but I said it in my head,
Mhm.
and I told him, I was like, "No, I'm not about to go pick a certain personality that is really not me,
Mhm.
but when I'm behind the camera." Because let me elaborate on that. When you're behind the camera for the first time and you're just like just starting like content creation, it could be nerve wracking,
Mhm.
because now you got people watching you that you don't know. It takes time to be like, I don't care. It is what it is. You know, I'm gonna be me regardless.
Mm-hmm.
But he asked me that, and I'm just like, no, like I'm gonna be myself because later down the line, I want people to respect me and have a solid foundation for who I am. Like what Choke Fellow just said. Like he was saying, like, you know, if you have a speech impediment, if you have a stutter, if you whatever makes you, you keep it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm telling you, you think people are not paying attention? People are paying attention to the small details, and it's like, don't let that get to your head because that can be nerve-wracking, but it's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That can bring out something that 40,000 other viewers that watched the same clip didn't notice until you commented that. You know what I mean? Like that's a big deal. So be yourself. Don't try to hide who you are. If you're crazy, maybe hide that. But
I hope so.
but you know, like we in holiness. So like we represent the truth of God. You know, we were trying our best to make it in the first resurrection. So we trying to be right.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying is we hold a different standard. So we're not about to be on social media. We're not about to be on our streams, our IRL content, doing some crazy off the wall, jacked up stuff that we can get reprimanded for later down the line by the word of the Lord. So we're trying to make sure that everything is just on point. We hold a different type of standard. So like, let's say, for example, you are new with the content creation. You want to, like I just said earlier, you want to remember your why. Why am I doing anything? You know, making the content, doing this for a career one day if you want to. Like, you have to have some type of standard because I'm telling you right now, it's not too many content creators that hold a standard. Like, if I pull up my phone and I go on the reel section or shorts, whatever, you got some nuts on there.
Oh,
I mean, they're doing some crazy stuff just to get
attention.
viral.
Yeah.
Like, that's degrading. You know what I mean?
Eating
and not
a
only
whole
that,
box
but then,
of crayons.
Yo, that's what I'm saying. It's even worse than that. And then you got the females that just show off their body and they use their body for views. Like that's crazy. That's no talent.
Nope.
You're just built that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not a talent.
Just,
like, you know what I mean? All right, you might look good, but that's not a talent. Like, you know what I mean?
That's what you're known
Hey,
for.
appreciate you for tapping in, Lee.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, take that advice and run with it. You know what I'm talking about? But
stay tuned.
But
we got
bro,
more.
Yeah, we got a lot more coming on the way, God willing. But what I'm saying is, bro, like you gotta have some type of just mandatory, just like principles, morals and principles, a standard when you're creating content.
Correct.
Like you don't want to just hop behind the camera and just do anything because now that's somebody's first impression of you.
Correct.
Like you said, somebody eating a box of crayons.
That's
like
crazy,
you know what I
bro.
mean?
Now
like, you could be funny,
but here's a good
just be
additive.
you.
Exactly, be you.
Yeah.
be the you that you, because remember all this content is on the internet, is there unless you go and physically delete everything off the internet. Like I physically can't. I got content on the internet that I can't log into old accounts and it's there. So
you and me both.
Do you want to be the person to look back at your old content and be like, dang, that's me? And you want to regret the content that you created and regret the person that you're looking at now 5, 10, 15 years down the line? Like, no, we want to create content not only to boost, motivate, and educate, but that we can look back on, or our kids or families can look back on and be proud. That's like, wow, his character was solid. He's still the same person. He's matured. He's more wisdom, more knowledge and understanding, but his character remained the same of being right, being righteous, and not doing stupid stuff for attention, eating a box of crayons or getting half naked, putting oil on yourself, sliding through Walmart. Like people are just doing. Remember Boot Gang?
Oh, I remember. I remember that name,
bro. Boom, like World Star. He was all over World Star. What is that? Shrimp Patty Patrick, whatever. He put the lemons in his eyes, bro. People, World Star era during the SoundCloud era was
World Star
wild.
was insane.
Bro.
World Star was insane.
That
like
World
I'm
Star
not, if I'm not mistaken, I think the guy that created it died though.
Yeah. His whole production team took over and everything. But at one point during the SoundCloud era, when like X, Lil Pump, Juice WRLD, all them people were coming out, World Star was the mecca of trying to become famous as a content creator. Now people are just,
it was,
you know what I mean? But it was always, you've never seen someone go viral on World Star for doing something normal. It was always some outlandish, stupid stuff that they were doing to go viral. That's it. And then they had to keep it up. When you do something stupid to go viral, then you have to do something stupider or just as stupid to still go
Yeah, you gotta
viral.
keep up that pace. You gotta keep up that pace, man. And I'm telling you right
You
now,
got to stay
that's not easy
retarded.
to keep up with.
No.
Yeah.
You got to stay retarded. Bro,
Yo,
for real.
hold on.
You got to
That
stay.
got me. Hold on.
Oh,
Hold on. Let
man.
me recollect. Recollect.
Oh, my
Yo, but I'm
gosh.
saying though, because like somebody may make yo, this guy's actually insane.
Oh, don't give me that soundboard.
Yo, yeah. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna have to get you. But yo, what I'm saying is when you make that crazy video to start out with, and this is like your first viral video, now when people watch you, you're on the hot seat.
Mm-hmm.
You're on the hot seat because now whatever you post next gotta either match it or
Mm-hmm.
top it. So
Correct.
then you're like, wow, I just did something absolutely barnacles, and now I gotta come back and do something even worse. You know what I
Correct.
mean?
Correct.
Over time, if you want to keep making videos like that, if you're constantly posting videos like that, you can start losing all your morals, all your principles, all your characteristics that once was good at
Mm-hmm.
some point. You know what I mean? Now you're just degrading yourself for viewership, and before you know it, you're gonna be at this top bar with all these top creators up there, and even them creators, they're gonna look at you crazy. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't get easy when you get up there. Like they're gonna look at you like, wow, you came up and got big like that.
Yeah.
I ain't sticking around
Ooh.
with you. I ain't collabing with you. You know?
Just remember, your fan base grows up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you want to do something stupid, your fan base is based off of people that are young and idiotic and they find it funny. But after
Mm-hmm.
doing stupid stuff for 5 years, like, bro, I remember, okay, if I can say this righteously, Jack A, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jack Donkey, the show or
Yeah.
the movie, whatever. When I
Oh,
was a
I know.
kid,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like Viva La Bam, all that stuff. When we were younger, we watched that and it was like, that was outrageous. And we watched it because it was like, wow, that's crazy. But now as an adult
Mm-hmm.
being mature, I find that stuff repulsive. Like it's
Yeah.
disgusting. And I can't stand watching it, getting kicked in the groin and running around doing stupid. Like that to me is idiotic. I grew up.
Yeah.
And so did everybody else. They lost half their fan base right there.
Mm-hmm.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
You're gonna keep doing
Yep.
idiotic stuff and lose half your fan base in the next couple of years because people are growing up. I'd rather keep doing what I'm doing righteously, mature, educate, and bring fun content and continue to better myself with the content. And then in 10 years, the person that's been watching me from middle school, graduated high school, got married, has kids, and now is sitting down having dinner, still watching me with their kids now.
Yo, that's a big dream of mine.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we talked about this before off camera, and it's like, dude, I want to be able to, and I know you can relate because you told me this. I want to be able to make content to where like eventually down the line I can make IRL content to where like it's always intriguing, it's informative, it's fun, it's has a lot of funny points, it has a lot of just engagement to where like you can stay tuned the whole time. But while you're watching it, you don't have to tell your kids, "Oh, go in the other room. Adults is in here." You know what I mean? You shouldn't be watching this, or this is for adults.
Mm-hmm.
No, your kids can learn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they can listen, they can watch, they can be like, "Yo, that was funny. Yo, I can't wait to." And now that takes away from you separating them. So now the whole family can get together and watch Chokefellow, can watch Leak Games, can watch Leak Two, whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even this podcast, because whoever's tuning in new, this is our first podcast from the TAC network.
Yep.
If you're new, please check out our main page called TAC, the Alpha Cortex Network. If you can look above us, check it out. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But like you said, you want to be able to have content that's feasible for years and years and years and years and years, to where like it's not just for a certain age group. You know what I mean? It's now going into the adults too, and even the kids can still keep watching it. You know what I mean?
Correct.
But you got to be a good content creator to do that, because if you can get adults and kids watching your stuff, you did it. Like that's not easy.
Solid. That's solid right there.
Yeah, that's not easy, man. But that goes into the question that number 6 was mine, right? I got number 6.
Yeah.
Okay, got you. So let's go right into number 6. Creative flow of content. Be genuine. And that goes back to what I was just saying. I'm gonna kind of pick up, and then I'm gonna let you piggyback off of me. When you have a creative flow, first things first, you want to make sure what you're doing is what you want to do, like for that particular page. Like, is it something that is gonna stay relevant? Is it something that's gonna be, oh, I can make content for this and it's never gonna end? Because just like our pastor says, if you're gonna get into something that lasts, that never goes out of style, that doesn't die out. You know what I mean? Like you want to make sure that it's like no matter when somebody watches it in any generation, it's like, okay, I can watch this because and people's subconscious are like, okay, this is normal. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like this is like, and even if it stands out, you're like, wait a minute, I can't get tired of this. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? So like, if you have something that's like that, that goes with the creative flow. Another version of the creative flow really could just like the style editing. You know what I mean? I don't know if you have a different point on that,
Mm-hmm.
but like your style editing actually does make sense. Like editing within like clips and within like content is a silent language. I would say it's very important that you have a good style of editing because let's say for instance, like we were talking about the other day, where you're adding like the gifs, where
Mm-hmm.
you're adding like the sound effects, where you're adding like this, and that, and the third. Not too many people make content like that, and I do that for League games because it just adds into the gaming content, but
Mm-hmm.
for League 2 Honest, I kinda keep it, different until I change my form of the IRL content. But, it's a language. Like, the style of editing is very, very important when it comes to creative flow
Mm-hmm.
because you're being creative. Like, when you're editing, you're using your creativity to really implement what makes your content reflect you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I think that's very important when it comes to the creative flow, and I'm just gonna, I'm gonna let you take off from there and see what
No, no, yeah,
your drop
I
is on it.
agree 100%. Like, that's an extension of your character. That's an extension of your emotion, like how you edit. If you just have a clean
Mhm.
cut, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're just boring. It's because maybe you're not comfortable yet editing and you don't know enough about editing. So you just keep it clean cut and that's it. But if you do have a specific type of way of editing, then you go from there. But just like with everything else, like we go back to the analogy of going to the gym. The way you look, if you're consistent with dieting and going to the gym and evolving your style of working out, maybe you start off with calisthenics, push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, dips, stuff like that, body weight stuff. Then you work into CrossFit. Then you go into like more rugged stuff where you're doing strongman competitions, you're putting on some weight. Like everything about you changes. So just like with your content, so does your style of editing, right? If you look up our very first gaming video that we did and watch how we edit that versus how we're editing now, it's different. The quality is different. The camera, everything is different about it, but the characteristics of our personality maintain the same. Being comfortable on the camera and mic has changed a little bit, because we've gotten used to being in front of the camera, stuff like that, etc. But overall, it is an extension of who you are and the type of content you want to put out. If you want to put out that super professional, you know, cinematic quality where you have a really good camera, you got drone shots and B-roll footage, and you got your lavalier mic and all this stuff. Lavalier, lavala. Anyways, you have good quality stuff, and that's the style of editing. You want to keep it more, 2011 Vine humor, then do that. And we were discussing that, like I told you before, is like you have these kids nowadays that are wanting to wear the same clothes that we did when we were kids, and they're calling it fashion. But yet they were making fun of us when we were doing it as kids. They want to
Mhm.
listen to the same music that we were listening to as kids. They want vinyls, they want VHSs, they want the vintage toys, and they want to collect Pokemon cards now, and all these things that are just making a loop back around. So it's like the same humor and style of editing back in the YouTube days when PewDiePie, Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, Dashy, like all these people were popping back then for their style of editing is slowly coming back around just with a more modern twist, like we were discussing. So that kind of comes into play not only with your character and being genuine with who you are, but that also helps you stand out your style of editing. I've also seen people that have a massive fan base that have been doing it for years and have the most blandest, in your face type of editing, but yet they still
Mhm.
have 600,000 subscribers. They're getting hundreds of thousands of views and doing it full time and making a paycheck. So
Yeah.
if your editing is simple, you gonna make money if your character and your content people want to watch. If your editing is super clean and awesome and 4K quality all the time, then that's you. Whatever.
Yeah, I honestly agree. And touching back on what you were saying about the Pokemon cards, at one point, I remember people used to get made fun of for having Yu-Gi-Oh cards,
Mm-hmm.
Pokemon, Bakugan, all that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it was just insane how you looked at those kids like, yo, there goes the nerd table.
Mm-hmm.
But yo, if they were like somehow transported from that time to today, they're the popular kids now.
Yep. Yeah.
You know what I
Bro,
mean?
like being a nerd now is popular.
Yeah, that's so crazy how that works. You know what I mean?
We're
Like, but I don't,
cool,
I don't,
dude.
yeah, I don't want to get out too off topic because I could talk about that for a long time. So I think we kind of copy or just kind of went over
Yeah,
number
I
7, which is
think
keeping genuine
yeah, I
character.
think that's pretty straightforward. As far as I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie, number 8 is pretty easy to answer.
yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. I still want to throw that in there
Go ahead,
though.
go ahead.
Um, just I'm gonna touch on it quick, and then we can kind of ramble off because then we're at the end
You
of the
say
list.
rainbow?
Uh, ramble.
Oh, I just said rainbow. Oh.
No, what the
I
world?
was like, what?
Ramble with the L.
Ramble.
So
Okay.
why do people follow accounts?
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's say you have an account, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have 1,000 followers,
Mm-hmm.
but the only reason you got 1,000 followers is because you follow 5, 10, 20,000 people or
Mm-hmm.
accounts or bots or whatever. You're following them. They're not following you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like that's something that really blows my mind in this since I had to ask this or put this in here because I don't know if we're gonna come back to this at a later time or whatever when we talk about content or God knows whatever part episode 2 will be about. But when it comes to this portion of content and I see these accounts, dude, I'm like, what in the world? Like what
Mm-hmm.
what is what, like why? Like if your goal is to gain the same amount of people that you follow back and months go by and they haven't followed you back, you got a lot of unfollowing to do,
Yep.
and you better have a lot of time on your hands.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just had to touch on that for a second, man. But yeah, we don't got to go into that. I
No,
just
no, no, but
had
let
to
me let
say
me answer
something
that.
about that.
Let me answer that.
Hmm.
So if you're gonna be following a lot of people, it's because you want to consume a lot of content, which
Right,
is a
right.
bit silly, right? Because for you to, okay, let's say Instagram caps out at 7,500. Somehow you found a loophole and you're following 10,000, 20,000, which it's normal. It does happen. You will see accounts that are following more than 7,500 accounts, and that's normal. But let's
Hmm.
just say you cap out at 7,500 followers or following, and for what? For what? If you're not a content creator and you're not actively posting content on your page and you're not following people to get a notification on their page so they can go to your page and you can get an
Hmm.
impression rate off a visit and they see your most recent and they like it and comment whatever and you're gaining from it, it makes no sense to follow that many people unless you want to consume that much content, which the explore page and the shorts page has enough content for you to consume already. So for you to go to your feed page and have 7,500 people that you're following and you're scrolling through all that content, that's a bit much. Like now you have
It is.
that's a dangerous portion now. You're having addiction. So now granted, you can not follow 7,500 people. You could be following 3, but yet you're still doom scrolling. Either or, you're
Hmm.
kind of screwed either or. But regardless, if you're following more than you have a following, then it's because you're utilizing the follow and unfollow method. That's one of my OG methods to go back to when trying to gain a fan base. And I've been doing that for years and it works. The only difference is that social media platforms have hacked down on how frequent you can follow people, how fast, how soon, based off time. If you follow too much, you can get shadow banned. You can't post, comment, like, do anything. And then eventually the shadow ban gets lifted and you can continue forward. So you got to be careful. Back then, you could follow as many people as you want, no time limit, and really push hard on it. And gain a lot. Like I was able on my first page ever in 1 year, I got 186,000 followers in my first year from following and unfollowing. And then by year number 2, I was already at 340,000 followers just for one account.
Wow.
So following, unfollowing is a super OG method, man. I've been on Instagram since 2010.
Hmm.
Since 2010, I've been an active user on Instagram. My personal page on high school had 25,000 followers on Instagram, and that was based off the follow and unfollow method. And I've been doing that for a while now, and it still works and it does not change. So if that's a tip that you want, there's a very specific way you have to do it though. You can't just follow whoever you want. There's a very, very specific way I do it, and it gains me the most amount back on top of me following, or on top of me posting and gaining followers from my posts. I also get like a double and a triple increase off my follow and unfollow. And then whenever we post and we get a bunch of comments on a post, you already know what we do on that too.
Yeah. So yeah, honestly, that's a really strong, and I think eventually we should like create some sort of like blueprint, and then just have that like an exclusive to where like when we do get to a certain level of like popularity on social media, then hey, if you're willing to pay for the course, it's going to be a whole blueprint for you written out.
$50 million.
$50 bajillion.
You need to sell us Pluto.
I'm gonna act like I didn't hear it.
Try.
Yo, no, that's hilarious, man. But hey, look, that's just, I feel like all the information like we covered is just super, super valuable. And I thank God because this is our first podcast, bro.
First podcast of many.
We're gonna look back on this, God willing, and be like, yo, remember when nobody was watching our podcast?
For real. Eventually, we're gonna be sitting next to each other in a full set.
But the thing is, you gotta brush your teeth first, and then we'll be good. No, I'm just joking. But hey, man, like I said, like I thank God for, like I said earlier, like if you're gonna work with somebody like me and Choke Fellows working together, like you have to be on the same page. Like you have to be on one accord when it comes to level of maturity, when it comes to your consistency. And like I told him, like at first, when I first started my content journey, while we're on this topic, I was originally gonna do all this solo, like all of it. And like I mentioned, we both go to the same church. Choke Fellow, you know, he hopped in my comment section one day. He's like, what did you say? You said like, yo, I game too.
I think I don't know if it was a comment section. No, it was your story. That's what it was.
Story. Yes. The story. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
I commented on a story, and I think you were streaming and you were playing Call of Duty, because at the time I was playing heavy DMZ. So it was between DMZ and I was playing Diablo 4. Anyway, so I saw you play Call of Duty. I'm like, bro, I don't ever get to play with anyone. And then I saw that you were a brother in the church, and I saw your face, and I recognized you on multiple telecasts. So I'm like, oh, I know this brother. I've seen him a couple times. And then, so then that's when I hit your comment section on the story, and I said, you know, do you play? Do you stream, etc.? And then we kind of just like hit it off through that.
Yeah, honestly, that, and like, you don't know what kind of connections you're gonna make when you're making this content. Like, you just don't know. But like, just the whole journey itself, like I said, I was gonna do this by myself. You want to make sure, like, and the thing is, like, I'll be honest, you know, I'm a realist. I really like filtered Choke Fellow out, because I'm like, yo, I know he's a brother in the church, but it's like I gotta know if I'm gonna invest this time, like hours and hours and hours, like constant phone calls, constant video calls, like where we're just working, like, you know what I mean? We're putting in the work, like consistently, like no breaks, like every day is doing something, you know what I mean? Like if I couldn't find somebody that was like that, I would have stayed solo.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's just, if you find your people that you want to make content with, you can make content solo, you know, if that's your choice. But I mean, I'm be honest, man, when you have more than one mind and just more than one like opinion or thought process on the whole process, it's like it can make all the more difference when it comes to creativity, when it comes to consistency. Like there's so many times where if I'm feeling down and out and I'm talking on the phone, like I remember one day I was depressed when it came to everything in my life, and I didn't really want to make content. And then you called me And I was like, I don't know if you heard my voice, the way it sounded or
Mhm.
whatever. And you was like, yo, bro, I'm calling you. We're gonna have a good day today. We're gonna be
Mhm.
right. We're gonna be happy. We're gonna get this work, put this work in. And immediately I was just like, yeah, that's my bro.
You're
We good.
Yep.
We good.
Yep.
Like we there's no way, because it just had to be God's doing, because it's like at that point in time was like my lowest point, and he called me. He was like, "Yo, bump that." He said, "Nah, we be having a good day
Let's
today."
go
I
for real.
say, "Yo, that's the thing. Like you can't. It's such a blessing when you find people like that, and it's
Mm.
like if you do, don't let them go. You know what
Yep.
I mean? So
Because it has to
it
be
just so
natural.
happened.
It has to be
Yeah,
natural.
natural.
Nothing
Yeah,
is forced between us, and it's not like there's a fakeness behind it. And I think you said it one time too. It's like when you can talk on the phone with somebody or just talk in conversation, just randomly face to face or over the phone, you can get that vibe of like that person's trying to push me off. Like
yeah,
they clearly don't want to talk to me no more. The conversation lasted 15 minutes. Like, all right, bro, I gotta go back to work. Or, hey, bro, I don't like driving and talking on the phone. Something random like that. Like they just push you off, bro. But
excuses.
you know what I'm saying? Just try to make up something. But it's like, no, bro. We spend in. There's days where while I'm at work, I'll look at the calls. The first call is like an hour and 20 minutes. Then I hang up because maybe a customer called, or I'm having to charge up my phone or my battery and my earpiece is dying because we talked too long. Charge up, and then we're talking for another hour and 45 minutes, and we done talked for almost 4 hours and two different job sites, and and we're constantly going at it with ideas and this and that. And I know I watched a video about Mr. Beast talking about that, and it wasn't until like after that I noticed we're doing the same thing. But
Yeah.
he found people amongst his group, but granted, he was already at 100,000 subscribers at that point, and he
Hmm.
found other people that had the same amount, and they were on calls, on Skype calls for hours every single day, constantly trying to do better and figure out better ideas and keep pushing, this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. So it's like we're doing the same exact thing where we're not only motivating each other, but figuring out, okay, what can we do next? What can we do this, that, and the other? And when you think about it, obviously God's in the midst.
Hmm.
Currently speaking, though, us speaking every single day has created all these different ideas of, okay, for the gaming page, we should do this. We should play that. We should play this. And then it was like, okay, what else can we do? Oh, let's do IRL. Let's do questions. Oh, and then I told you, say gifts, do this, do that. And then we started getting a bunch of motion with that. And then it's like, okay, what else can we do? Can we do this? Now here we are doing a podcast, and it's like consistently upgraded, consistently moving forward with better ideas.
No, I agree. I agree. It has to be that camaraderie. It has to be that connection when you have a team, when you're making content. Like I'm sure the other successful content creators can tell you, like if we weren't on one accord, like dude, you're out of here pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So it's like you have to be on one accord, man. But
Mm-hmm.
I thank God for just everything the way it's going right now. I'm so excited to see where this journey takes us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm so excited to see how everything pans out, and we don't know when things can take off. We don't know while we're making this video right now,
Mm-hmm.
live on air. We don't know what's gonna happen. We don't know what God is gonna do for us, how He's gonna bless us with this content journey. But we're staying consistent. We're doing our best to keep Him first, and we gotta keep going. So
Just leave it at that.
whoever's watching this, whoever watches this whole thing, thank God for you. If you made it this far, I salute you. Because most people don't. Most
Mm-hmm.
people click off. But I'm sure you're gonna get a lot of valuable information and inspiration from this. But if there's anything you take from this, you know, podcast for this, specific segment, it's just stay consistent.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say stay consistent, it's like keep your morals, keep your principles, keep your, good mindset towards it. Don't embarrass yourself on social media. Like, just be you.
Mm-hmm.
Stay consistent. If you have a religious background like we do, like keep God first, and it's like he'll bless you along the way. But that's my closing remarks. Thank God for everybody who watches this, man. So I'll pass it to Choke and see if he has any closing words.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think that's a good like title for this is consistency. Just stay consistent. If your consistency at first was 5 a day, 5 posts a day, creating 5 different videos, and then slowly you work down to 3 and 2. Like for me, I'm posting 1. I'm still staying consistent. and I'm still reaping the benefits of staying consistent. So just stay focused. Like Leek said, make sure you understand the business model or the plan of action of what you started this for. And of
Your
course,
why.
yeah, what's the why? Exactly. Consistency and what's the why, and always, evolving the why, right? The why has a primary foundation of I want to be successful. I want this to be my career. But then evolve the why and build on that foundation of, all right, I want to be consistent, but now I want to be able to invest in properties. I want to be able to start an Airbnb company. I want a warehouse with Master Chief statues. And you keep building onto it, and you go from there.
Yeah, honestly, man. And don't forget the good things, like dreams that you have behind it. Don't forget all that can come from it, but don't let it consume you. You know what I mean? Just take it step by step. Celebrate your small wins, big wins. And even if there is no win, still celebrate because you're still consistent.
Yep.
As long as you stay consistent. So, all right, that's the end of the podcast, part 1, episode 1. And this is, what did you say? Consistency.
Consistency.
We're gonna label this consistency. Okay, I got you. So, all right, love y'all. Have a great night. Brush your teeth.
Brush your
Peace.
teeth.